Albania is one of the smallest countries on the Balkan Peninsula in southern Europe. This country is located in the western part of the Balkan Peninsula on the Strait of Otranto, the southern entrance to the Adriatic Sea, with a length of about 211 miles and a width of about 93 miles. Much of Albania's cuisine consists of meat and seafood. Among the most popular dishes are roasts, beef loin, kebabs, and meatballs. In addition to traditional religious holidays, pagan holidays and folklore play a significant role in Albanian life. Algeria. Algeria is the largest country on the African continent and is located on the north coast. This country extends southward from the Mediterranean coast down into the heart of the Sahara Desert, which covers over 80% of the country. Algeria's Islamic religion, language, and customs make it a part of the Arab world. Algerian cuisine, like that of most North African countries, is heavily influenced by Arab, Turkish, and French culinary traditions. Couscous, a semolina-based pasta customarily served with a meat and vegetable stew, is a traditional staple. Andorra. Andorra is a small European country. Located between Spain and France in the Pyrenees Mountains, Andorra is one of the smallest countries in the world. Andorra has become an important international center of retail trade that has attracted millions of shoppers from all over Europe with its duty-free imported consumer goods. Tourism is another of Andorra's leading industries, and the area has excellent opportunities for winter sports and a number of thermal springs. Angola. Angola is a country located on the southwestern African coast. This country has a warm, tropical climate with a rainy season that lasts over half of the year. Angola's economy is based on its natural resources of petroleum, natural gas, and diamonds, while agriculture, fishing, and manufacturing play smaller roles in the economy. The Feast of Nganza, usually celebrated in April, is a harvest festival during which children roast Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda is an island nation located in the eastern Caribbean Sea. This small Caribbean island nation is known for its powdery beaches, rolling hills, volcanic rocks, and warm tropical climate. The more developed art forms of Antigua and Barbuda are theater, calypso, steel band, architecture, poetry, and fiction. Argentina. Argentina is a large country in the southern part of South America, where it is second in area only to Brazil. This country's name comes from the Latin word for silver, argentum. The Andes Mountains run along the western edge of this country. Almost all Argentines are descendants of immigrants from Europe, and Argentine culture is a lively blend of European customs and Latin American innovations. Armenia. Armenia is a small Asian country located south of the Caucasus Mountains. It is one of the world's oldest centers of civilization. Armenian written literature began in the 5th century AD, and monasteries became the principal centers of intellectual life. Australia. Australia is one of the largest countries in the world and is the only country that occupies an entire continent. This country is known for its Great Barrier Reef, vast outback, and its unique wildlife. Indigenous Australian rock art is the oldest and richest in the world, dating as far back as 60,000 years and spreads across hundreds of thousands of sites. Austria. Austria is a mostly mountainous, landlocked country of south-central Europe. It is the most densely forested country in Central Europe. This country occupies the eastern end of the great mountain ranges of the Alps. Austria is known for its contributions to music, especially during the classical and romantic periods. Austria's location in the Alps means that outdoor winter sports are a favorite pastime. Known as the birthplace of downhill skiing, the country has a lot of ski areas. Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a country located at the crossroads between Central Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. This country is bordered by Russia, Georgia, Armenia, Iran, and the Caspian Sea. Its written history is more than 2,000 years old, and in the course of its long history, Azerbaijan has given the world a number of outstanding thinkers, poets, and scientists. The Bahamas. The Bahamas is a chain of islands in the Atlantic Ocean, southeast of Florida. This country includes about 700 islands, but people live on only about 30 of them. These islands got their name from the Spanish word Bahamar, meaning shallow water. Junkanoo is a Mardi Gras-like celebration that is held on several secular holidays. The celebrations combine music, costume, dance, revelry, and pride in the African cultural heritage. Bahrain. Bahrain is a small Arab monarchy on a group of islands in the Persian Gulf. Its main island and nearly 30 smaller islands lie off the coast of Saudi Arabia. Coffee is an important part of social life. Coffee shops are popular meeting places, and coffee is offered as a sign of hospitality. It is often flavored with cardamom and saffron. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country in South Central Asia and is one of the world's most densely populated nations. This country has a tropical monsoon climate with hot summers and heavy rains. The typical household in Bangladesh, particularly in the villages, includes several generations of extended family. Most marriages are arranged by parents or other relatives, but increasing numbers of educated men and women choose their own partners. Barbados. Barbados is a small, densely populated island country in the Caribbean Sea. Coral reefs surround this country, and the surface of the island is also made of coral, resting on top of rock. The country's name means bearded in Portuguese, and probably takes its name from the bearded fig trees that grow there. Cuckoo, a creamy blend of cornmeal and okra and flying fish, is the national dish. Belarus. Belarus is a mostly flat country in Eastern Europe that was once part of the Soviet Union. This country lies nestled between Russia, Poland, Ukraine, and Lithuania. Potatoes are present in most typical Belarusian dishes, as in the draniki, which are a kind of potato pancakes. Belgium. Belgium is one of the smallest and most densely populated countries in northwestern Europe. The country is mainly divided between the Walloons in the south, who speak French, and the Flemish in the north, who speak Flemish. This country is one of the world's most advanced and prosperous commercial and industrial nations. One of the symbols of Belgium is the Manneken Pis, which is a small bronze statuette depicting a boy urinating. Legend tells that this little boy saved the city in the 13th century, urinating on a wick ignited by enemies. Belgian chocolate is renowned around the world and may be considered a cultural institution. Belize. Belize is a constitutional monarchy on the Caribbean coast of Central America. This country is a land of mountains, swampy lowlands, and tropical jungle. Punta rock music is a component of the national culture that was created in the early 1980s. It has become popular along the Caribbean coast of Central America. Benin. Benin is a country on the west coast of Africa. There are more than 40 different ethnic groups in this country. Artistic traditions in Benin are very old and are represented in practically every village. Carved wooden masks representing images and spirits of the departed are made and used in traditional ceremonies. Bhutan. Bhutan is a small country that lies in the high Himalayas of South Central Asia. This mountainous country country was isolated from outsiders until the 1950s. A typical Bhutia house is a two-storied structure of timber and stone with thick, pounded mud walls to keep out the cold. Livestock are kept on the ground floor while the family lives above. Bolivia. Bolivia is the fifth largest country in South America, nestled within the Andes Mountains. This country has breathtaking scenery, including jungles, deserts, and snow-covered peaks. The most important folk festival is held in Oruro during the carnival holidays preceding Lent, where many indigenous musical and dance groups compete, providing a magnificent display of costumes and decorations. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina is a European country on the western side of the Balkan Peninsula. It is a mountainous country with many rivers. Family ties are strong here, and great value is placed on hospitality, spontaneity, and the gifts of storytelling and wit. Bosnian cuisine is a matter of pride and displays its Turkish influence in stuffed vegetables, coffee, and sweet cakes. Botswana. Botswana is a landlocked country in the center of southern Africa. This country is almost entirely flat, with the Kalahari Desert covering most of the south and west. The country's wilderness draws many visitors with a wide variety of wildlife. Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America and takes up roughly half of the continent. This country contains most of the Amazon River basin, which has the world's largest river system and the world's most extensive virgin rainforest. The 4-day pre-Lenten Carnival is the most famous and exuberant Brazilian holiday, where popular music and dance, especially the samba, are on full display. Brunei. Brunei is a small Islamic sultanate or kingdom in Southeast Asia. Coral sand beaches line its coast while rainforests cover its land. Brunei is particularly renowned for its metalwork, especially during the 16th and 17th centuries. Brass and silver artisans were highly valued for their craftsmanship. Gongs are important locally as musical instruments. Bulgaria. Bulgaria is a country occupying the eastern portion of the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe. This country was founded in the 7th century and is one of the oldest states on the European continent. Bulgarians participate in many festivals, including the International Folklore Festival, held early in August in Burgas. Historical plays are popular, particularly when staged outdoors in summer against the backdrop of important monuments or buildings associated with events in the country's history. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in Western Africa. Much of this country's surface is covered in wild grassland or desert. Folkloric traditions are rich in Burkina Faso, reflecting the country's ethnic diversity. The Mossi are known for creating antelope masks that reach heights of up to 6.5 feet. Burundi. Burundi is a small landlocked country south of the equator in East Central Africa. This country has a tropical climate with tree-covered mountains and low-lying grasslands. Burundians have enjoyed a tradition of expression in the visual arts. Decorated papyrus panels, which often depict themes from Burundian legend, are prized by collectors of ethnic arts, as are Burundian-made swords and drums. Cape Verde. Cape Verde is an island nation in the Atlantic Ocean off the west coast of Africa. Its 10 islands and 5 rocky islets are volcanic in origin, and its climate is warm and dry. The majority of this country's people are of mixed African and European descent, known as Creole. Cambodia. Cambodia is a country in Southeast Asia. The Mekong River runs through the east of this country, which is bordered by Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam. Dense forests cover 2/3 of Cambodia. Angkor Wat, the world's largest religious structure, was built here by the powerful Khmer Empire in the 1100s. Cameroon. Cameroon is a country located at the junction of Western and Central Africa. This African country's name comes from Rio dos Cameros, which means river of prawns. Cameroon's economy is based on the farming of crops, including cassava, corn, sugarcane, sorghum, bananas, and peanuts. Canada is a huge country that stretches westward from the Atlantic Ocean to the shores of the Pacific Ocean and northward from its border with the United States to the icy waters of the Arctic Ocean. This country is the second largest country on Earth after Russia, but its population is relatively small. Canada's official national sports are ice hockey and lacrosse. Poutine is a Canadian dish originating from the province of Quebec, originally made with chips and cheese curds topped with a brown gravy. Central African Republic. Central African Republic is a landlocked country located in the center of Africa. This country has a tropical climate and is known for its lowland gorilla population, pygmy culture, and its national parks. In most Central African families, women continue to play a crucial role in the gathering, production, conservation, distribution, and preparation of food. Chad is a landlocked state in north-central Africa. The Sahara Desert runs across the north of this country. The country is famed for the rock paintings of its ancient inhabitants, which can be found in abundance in the caves and rock overhangs of the Tibesti Mountains. Chile stretches for nearly 2,700 miles along South America's west coast. Almost 3/4 of this long and narrow South American country is mountainous, bordered by the Andes Mountains and Pacific Ocean. Nearly 95% of Chileans have a mixture of native and European roots. Today, only about 5% of the population is of an indigenous group. The People's Republic of China. China is the largest country in Asia and has roughly 1/5 of the world's population. This Asian country's vast area is the third largest in the world, and its culture and its civilization go back thousands of years. China is one of the great cradles of world civilization, and its culture is remarkable for its duration, diversity, and influence on other cultures. Colombia is located in the northwest corner of South America. It's roughly twice the size of France and is the third most populous in Latin America. The Gold Museum in Bogota possesses the world's finest and largest collection of worked gold, the product of extraordinarily skilled craftsmen. East Africa. Three volcanic islands make up this country, containing steep mountains, low hills, and open sandy beaches. Most Comorans have a mixture of African, Arab, Malay, and Indonesian roots, and the majority are Muslims. Republic of the Congo. Republic of the Congo is a country in West Central Africa located on the equator. This country has a short coastline on the Atlantic Ocean and contains rainforests, swamps, savannas, and mountains. This country is a vital center of contemporary African music known as Congolese music or rumba, which mixes traditional African rhythms and instruments from other cultures. Costa Rica. Costa Rica is one of 7 countries in Central America. Its name means rich coast, and mountains, some with active volcanoes, run through this country. Costa Rica is considered to have the most stable democratic government in Central America. Ivory Coast. The Ivory Coast, also known as Côte d'Ivoire, is a country located on the coast of Western Africa. Most of the country is a forested plateau which gradually slopes down to the Atlantic Ocean. Its name came from its trade in elephant tusks or ivory in the 17th century. Traditional arts flourish in this country, especially with a rich culture of mask making. Croatia. Croatia is located in the northwestern part of the Balkan Peninsula in Eastern Europe. Even though this crescent-shaped European country is small, its geographic landscape is highly diverse with more than 1,000 small islands off its coast. Croatian cuisine is heavily influenced by Turkish, Central European, and Italian cuisine. Typical dishes are cabbage leaves stuffed with minced meat, rolls of seasoned grilled meat, dumplings, and pickles. Cuba. Cuba is the largest island of the West Indies in the Caribbean Sea. This country includes a long, narrow main island and nearly 2,000 smaller islands. Cuba's history is reflected in its food, language, art, and most of all, its music. The main musical form is called son, which combines lively rhythms with classical guitar. Cyprus. Cyprus is an island country in the Mediterranean Sea. It is the 3rd largest island in the Mediterranean Sea. The culture of Cyprus is divided between the northern Turkish and the southern Greek sections of the country. People have lived on this island for more than 7,000 years. Czechia. Czechia is a country located in Central Europe. This country has a moderate climate. The architecture of Czechia is rich and varied. Prague is especially noted for its wealth of building styles. The country is also known for its polka dancing. Democratic Republic of the Congo. Democratic Republic of the Congo is located in Central Africa and is the 2nd largest country on the continent. Most of this country is hot and humid, and it contains rainforests, swamps, and grasslands. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is a leading producer of diamonds. Denmark. Denmark is a European country that occupies a peninsula and an archipelago of over 400 islands. This country is part of the Northern European region known as Scandinavia. Vikings from Denmark conquered part of England in the Middle Ages. Djibouti. Djibouti is a small country on the northeast coast of the Horn of Africa. This small African country lies across from Yemen by the entrance to the Red Sea. The cuisine of Djibouti mingles African and French influences to produce meals that might include roast lamb with a yogurt sauce, lentil stew, flatbread, and cucumber salad. Dominica. Dominica is a small island republic in the Caribbean Sea. This mountainous island country was named after the Latin phrase Dies Dominica, which means the Lord's Day. Crapaud, or mountain chicken, a type of frog, is the national dish, but a more popular Creole dish is roasted breadfruit with salted codfish, onions, and peppers cooked in oil. The Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is located in the Caribbean Sea and occupies the eastern portion of the island of Hispaniola. This country shares the island that it occupies with Haiti. Royal palm trees grow throughout this country. People here are passionate about baseball and are known for their merengue dance. Ecuador. Ecuador lies along the equator, for which it is named, on the northwestern coast of South America. This country occupies part of the Amazon River basin, straddles part of the Andes Mountains, and includes the Galapagos Islands. About 40% of the people in this country are Native Americans, and each of these communities has a traditional style of dress. Egypt. Egypt is a country located in the northeastern corner of Africa. The Nile River Valley and Delta is this country's heartland, which was home to one of the world's earliest urban and literate societies and principal civilizations of the Middle East. Egypt has one of the richest architectural traditions in the world, spanning thousands of years. El Salvador. El Salvador is the smallest and most densely populated of the 7 Central American countries. This country has 2 mountain regions with volcanoes. Corn is the staple of the diet and is most often made into thick tortillas that are eaten at every meal and are also served as tamales in a thick corn drink called atole. Eritrea. Eritrea is a country located on the Red Sea, on the Horn of Africa. The country's name comes from the Latin name for the Red Sea. Eritreans rely on farming to survive, but low rainfall makes it difficult to grow much. Meals typically are served on a communal platter, and diners use bread rather than utensils to serve themselves portions of food. Estonia. Estonia is a country in northeastern Europe and is one of the Baltic states. This country's area includes about 1,500 islands off the coast, which control the traffic lanes from the Baltic Sea to St. Petersburg, the chief Russian port. Central to Estonia's cultural heritage was the barn dwelling, a multi-purpose farmhouse where farm families both lived and worked. The Kingdom of Eswatini. The Kingdom of Eswatini is a small landlocked country in the eastern flank of South Africa. This small landlocked nation is surrounded by South Africa. It is one of the few countries in Africa with a ruling king. Swazi society has great reverence for the struggle of their king over the 61 years of his reign to regain their independence. Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a landlocked country in northeastern Africa. Located in an area known as the Horn of Africa, this is one of the oldest countries in the world. Ethiopia's distinctive cuisine cuisine has gained a worldwide reputation, and traditional Ethiopian music is as diverse as the country's population. Fiji. Fiji is a group of about 300 islands located in the South Pacific Ocean. This country's islands are scattered over about 1.1 million square miles east of Vanuatu and west of Tonga in the South Pacific Ocean. There is a long tradition of outrigger canoeing in Fiji, and it continues to play an important role in the country's culture. Finland is one of the northernmost countries of Europe. This country is the most densely forested country in Europe, with roughly 2/3 of it covered in thick woodlands. This country has more than 50,000 lakes. Despite the strong influence of neighboring Scandinavian countries, the Finns have maintained the use of their national language. France is a large country in Western Europe known for its rich culture. This country is known worldwide for its cuisine and iconic monuments such as the Eiffel Tower, which welcomes millions of visitors every year. For much of its history, France has played a central role in European culture. French artistic, culinary, and sartorial styles influenced popular cultures of nations around the world. Gabon is a small country located on Africa's west coast along the equator. Dense rainforests cover much of the country. Gabon is one of the wealthiest countries in Africa due to its petroleum reserves. The Gambia is a small country located on Africa's west coast. This long, narrow country is the smallest country in Africa. Except for its short coastline on the Atlantic Ocean, this tiny country is completely surrounded by Senegal. Gambian women often wear elaborate head wraps and flowing dresses on the streets of the capital and in rural villages. Men sometimes wear traditional Arab dress and skull caps in this mostly Muslim country. Georgia is a small country located in the Caucasus Mountains of Asia. This mountainous country borders Russia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Turkey with the Black Sea to the west. The ancient culture of this country is reflected in the large number of architectural monuments, including many monasteries and churches. Germany is a country in north-central Europe. This country has more people than any other European country besides Russia and has the largest economy in Europe. There are many national parks in this country, and it has a rich and varied landscape. The birthplace of the modern printing press and of influential schools of philosophy and artistic styles, Germany has long played an important role in Western culture. Ghana is a country in Western Africa. This country was named for a powerful African empire that flourished along the upper Niger River from the 4th to the 13th century. Ghana's arts include dance and music, pottery and wood carving, gold and silver work, and textiles. Greece is a European country in the southern area of the Balkan Peninsula. This country has more than 2,000 islands, of which about 170 are inhabited. Greece was the center of science, philosophy, and art in ancient times. Today, the ancient ruins and natural beauty attract more than 10 million tourists each year. Grenada is a small oval-shaped island country in the eastern Caribbean Sea. Rainforests cover its mountains, and it has warm weather throughout the year with a long rainy season. This country is also called the Isle of Spice and is known for growing nutmeg and other spices. Guatemala. Guatemala is the westernmost country of Central America. The volcano Tajumulco, which is the highest peak in Central America, is in this country. This Central American country was the center of the great civilization of the Maya. Many traditional foods in Guatemalan cuisine are based on Mayan cuisine and prominently feature maize, chilies, and black beans as key ingredients. Guinea. Guinea is a country located on the Atlantic coast of Western Africa. This country has a hot, humid climate and contains tropical rainforests. Music is at the heart of Guinean culture and can traditionally be divided into types corresponding to the country's geographic and ethno-linguistic regions. Although these local styles vary, they are all characterized by heavy use of percussion and string instruments. Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is a country on the northwestern coast of Africa. It is hot here all year round, with heavy rainfall along the coast. This country's population includes about 20 different ethnic groups. Cape Verdean music such as Unana, a fast-paced genre, has become increasingly popular in cities and towns. Guyana. Guyana is situated in the northeastern corner of South America and is one of the smallest countries on the continent. This is the only English-speaking country in South America. Its name means land of waters, and it refers to its many rivers. Guyana's cuisine is a blend of South Asian, South American, and Chinese dishes that make liberal use of fiery, locally grown chilies and of fresh tropical fruits and vegetables. Haiti. Haiti occupies the western third of the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean Sea. This is the only independent French-speaking country in the Americas. Half the population practices voodoo, which is a mixture of African slave traditions and Catholic beliefs. Carnival and New Year's Day are the biggest holidays for most Haitians. Honduras. Honduras occupies a prominent position in the seven-country Central America land bridge that connects North and South America. It has coasts on the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean. Most of its land is mountainous, and it is warm all year round. The ancient Maya lived in what is now Honduras when the Spanish colonists arrived in the early 1500s. Hungary. Hungary is a landlocked country of Central Europe. The major river of this country is the Danube, which flows for 255 miles through its territory. Hungary's most traditional cultural element is its cuisine. Hungarian food is very rich, and red meat is frequently used as an ingredient. Iceland. Iceland is an island country located in the North Atlantic Ocean between North America and Europe. This country is one of the northernmost inhabited places on the planet and is a scenic land of glaciers and volcanoes. Icelandic cuisine centers on the country's fishing industry. Hakkarl, which is a carefully putrefied shark, is a pungent traditional food. India. India is a country with an area of more than 1.2 million square miles, with much of this area jutting into the Indian Ocean in South Asia. More people live in this country than in any other country in the world except China. Its culture is also one of the oldest and richest in the world. For almost all Indians, the family is the most important social unit. There is a strong preference for extended families who share finances and a common. Indonesia. Indonesia is made up of over 17,000 islands and is the largest country in Southeast Asia in both area and population. This country's islands, which are mostly mountainous, lie along the equator between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Indonesia possesses a wealth of verbal art. Much of this material, such as poetry and epic tales, is transmitted through oral tradition performance, as opposed to printed text. Iran. Iran is a country of Southwest Asia. This Middle Eastern country is bordered by the Caspian Sea to the north and the Persian Gulf in the south, and it has active volcanoes. This country was once the heartland of the ancient Persian Empire. Herding has long been a traditional part of the economy, and dairy products are common ingredients in Persian dishes. Iraq. Iraq is a country located in southwestern Asia in a region called the Middle East. This country covers the region known since ancient times as Mesopotamia and has supported some of the world's earliest civilizations. In Baghdad, one finds Western artistic traditions, including ballet, theater, and modern art, along with more traditional Middle Eastern forms of artistic expression. Ireland. Ireland is a country which occupies most of the westernmost major island of the British Isles in Western Europe. Some call this country the Emerald Isle due to its green countryside, which receives an abundant amount of rain throughout the year. Irish culture is best known through its literature, drama, and songs. Above all, the Irish are renowned as masters of the art of conversation. Israel. Israel lies at the eastern edge of the Mediterranean Sea within the region known as the Middle East. The country was founded in 1948 and was the first homeland for the Jewish people in nearly 2,000 years. Israel may be the most religiously complicated country on earth. All three of the major Western religions claim Israel, and particularly Jerusalem, as valuable to their heritage.
The Palestinian territories, including the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, are territories occupied by Israel since 1967.
Italy. Italy occupies a peninsula that extends deep into the Mediterranean Sea in south-central Europe. This country is shaped like a boot and has some of the most diverse landscapes on Earth. Rome ruled one of history's largest empires 2,000 years ago. Today, it enjoys tourism as a main economic activity. Jamaica. Jamaica is an island nation in the Caribbean Sea. This mountainous island has a tropical climate with plains along its coast. Jamaica is known for its reggae, a type of popular music created in the 1960s, and its economy is heavily based on tourism. Japan. Japan is located off the east coast of Asia. This country consists of 4 large islands and more than 6,800 smaller islands, which form an arc that stretches across about 1,500 miles. While Japan is known for its advanced technology and modern economy, the country values its complex and ancient cultural traditions. Jordan. Jordan is a small Middle Eastern nation with an ancient history. A fertile valley runs along the Jordan River, but more than 80% of the land is covered by desert. This country is famous for its historical relics. The country's cuisine features dishes using beans, olive oil, yogurt, and garlic. Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the largest nation in Central Asia. Most of its land is flat, though a mountain range lies along its border with China. This country is named for the Kazakhs, a people who once roamed the region's vast grasslands. Urban Kazakhs tend to wear modern clothing, but the women of remote villages continue to wear traditional dresses and headscarves. Kenya. Kenya is an African country located on the equator on the continent's east coast. This country is visited by many tourists who come to see its beautiful scenery and rare wild animals. For all of the modernization and urbanization of Kenya, traditional practices remain important. Rituals and customs are very well documented. Kiribati. Kiribati is a country of 33 islands located in the Central Pacific Ocean in the Oceania region. Most of its islands are atolls, which are coral reefs surrounding lagoons. Nearly all the people here are Micronesians, and most people live in traditional villages inside huts. Kuwait. Kuwait is a small Middle Eastern country. This hot, flat desert country has no lakes or rivers that flow year-round. Though small in area, it has some of the largest oil reserves in the world. Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is a country situated in the heart of Central Asia. Rich in history and cultural tradition, this country borders Kazakhstan, China, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Kyrgyzstan has a rich oral history, and its epic poem, Manas, an oral tale passed down through the generations, is said to be over 500,000 lines long. Laos. Laos is a landlocked country of Southeast Asia. The Mekong River forms part of the Southeast Asian country's western border, where there is a hydroelectric dam. Most families in Laos are involved in farming. Members of households work the land together, with a division of labor by gender. Latvia. Latvia is a country in northeastern Europe. This country lies on the eastern shore of the Baltic Sea and is covered with glacial deposits. The Latvian folk song, or Daina, is undoubtedly the heart of Latvian culture. Dainas are generally no more than 4 lines long and tend to be stories of love or related to myths. Lebanon. Lebanon is a small Middle Eastern country on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. This country lies on a long, narrow strip of land, and though it has a large population, is one of the world's smallest sovereign states. Family and kinship play a central role in Lebanese social relationships. Although family structure is traditionally largely patriarchal, women are active in education and politics. Lesotho. Lesotho is a small country in southern Africa. This country's scenic land of tall mountains and narrow valleys is completely surrounded by the Republic of South Africa. Herders play a traditional musical instrument called the lezeba, a stringed and wind instrument consisting of a string and feather on which the musician blows. Liberia. Liberia is a small country along the coast of Western Africa. This country is warm and humid, with tropical rainforests and rich wildlife. This country's name means Land of the Free, and it was settled by freed slaves in the 1820s. Libya. Libya is a country located in North Africa along the southern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. This country extends into the vast Sahara Desert and ranks 4th in size among African countries. Libyan culture highlights folk art and traditions, which are highly influenced by Islam. Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is one of the smallest countries in Europe. This country is a principality, which means that it is ruled by a prince. Throughout most of its history, Liechtenstein was a quiet, rural corner of the world that was largely unaffected by its European neighbors, maintaining its neutrality in both World Wars I and II. Lithuania. Lithuania is a country in northeastern Europe. This country is the largest of the three Baltic states, and in the 14th to 16th centuries was a powerful empire that dominated much of Eastern Europe. Lithuanian folklore is a significant part of the national heritage. Lithuanian songs and a remarkable collection of fairy tales, legends, and proverbs have roots deep in a language and culture that are among Luxembourg. Luxembourg is one of the world's smallest countries. This tiny country is the center of European diplomacy. It is also a big producer of steel and iron. Its extremely dynamic economy makes it one of the richest and most prosperous countries in the world. Radio Luxembourg played an important role in the history of rock music when it operated as Europe's premier broadcaster of rhythm and blues and early rock and roll from the United States in the 1950s. Madagascar. Madagascar is an island country located near the southeastern coast of Africa. This country is the fourth largest island in the world. Many animals that aren't found anywhere else in the world can be found on this island country. Most Malagasy people, regardless of their degree of modernity, continue to observe traditional customs, particularly those connected with ceremonies showing respect for the family's ancestors. Malawi. Malawi is a landlocked country in southeastern Africa. This country lies west of the Great Rift Valley and Lake Nyasa, one of the deepest lakes in the world. One of the most distinctive features of Malawian culture is the enormous variety of traditional songs and dances that feature the drum as the major musical instrument. Malaysia. Malaysia is a country in Southeast Asia that consists of two areas of land that are separated by the South China Sea. This country is hot and humid year-round, and rainforests cover half of the country. Malaysian cuisines reflects the mixture of ethnic groups in the country's population. The three most prominent cuisines are Chinese, Indian, and Malay. The Maldives. The Maldives is a chain of about 1,200 small islands in the Indian Ocean and is one of the world's smallest countries. The islands are made of coral that sits atop old underwater volcanoes. None of the country's land is more than 6 feet above sea level. Tourism and fishing are the most important part of this country's economy. Mali. Mali is a large landlocked country of Western Africa. The northern part of this country lies within the Sahara Desert, while the Niger River runs through the south. The most common cultural activities involve music and dancing. Dogon dancers wear masks that are more than 10 feet tall. Malta. Malta is an island country located in the central Mediterranean Sea. This small island country has one of the highest population densities in the world, with about 3,000 people per square mile. The people of Malta have a mixture of Italian, Arab, English, and other roots, as the strategically located country has been ruled by many different powers over the centuries. The Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands is a country in Oceania that includes islands scattered over 772,000 square miles of the Pacific Ocean. This country contains 5 islands and 29 atolls, which are coral reefs that surround shallow water. In travels between the islands, early inhabitants learned to read the patterns of the waves and the position of the stars, and they made stick charts to record and pass on their observations to less experienced navigators. Mauritania. Mauritania is a country that encompasses part of the Sahara Desert in West Africa. This country is named after a province of the Roman Empire and is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean to its west. Moorish women have long held central roles as household managers, as well as critical cultural roles as the chief transmitters of Moorish culture. Moorish society is proud of its nomadic past and its Arab and Muslim heritage. Mauritius. Mauritius is a small island country located off Africa's southeastern coast. This country lies in the Indian Ocean about 500 miles east of Madagascar. Mauritius is known for the Sega, a popular dance that is performed without the feet ever leaving the ground. Instead, the rest of the body moves. Mexico. Mexico is a large country in North America located between the United States and Central America. This country has a rich mixture of American Indian and European cultures. Mexico City is built over the ruins of a great Aztec city. Because it is built on a lake, the city is sinking at a rate of 6 to 8 inches a year as pumps draw water out for the city's growing population. The Federated States of Micronesia. The Federated States of Micronesia is an island country made up of more than 600 islands in the western Pacific Ocean. Most of the islands in this country fall into 2 categories: high volcanic islands and low-lying coral atolls. Rainforests grow on the volcanic islands. Although only the people of Yap and a few outlying atolls and Chuuk still wear traditional dress, loincloths for men and grass skirts for women, most villagers live much as their ancestors did. Moldova. Moldova is a small country in Eastern Europe. This country is in the northeastern corner of the Balkan Peninsula, and its land is a hilly plain with rich black soil. Most of the country's theaters, museums, music halls, and libraries are in the capital city. Monaco. Monaco is a tiny country located along the Mediterranean Sea in Europe. This country is so small that it does not have any other separate cities. This country is a principality directed by a prince, Prince Albert of Monaco. Monaco's chief industry is tourism, and its facilities make it one of Europe's most luxurious resorts. Mongolia. Mongolia is a large and mountainous country in Central Asia. This country sits between Russia and China and has long cold winters with severe blizzards. This country formed the heart of the great empire of Genghis Khan. Contemporary cultural life in Mongolia is a unique mix of traditional nomadic, shamanic, and Buddhist beliefs. Montenegro. Montenegro is a European country on the Balkan Peninsula. This country is home to a diverse landscape with rugged mountains, valleys, and forests. This country's name means Black Mountain. Montenegro is perhaps best known to the outside world for its rich architectural heritage and medieval murals. Morocco. Morocco is a mountainous country in western North Africa. This country lies directly across the Strait of Gibraltar from Spain and is known for its busy markets, exotic food, and ancient culture. Moroccan cuisine has gained a following among connoisseurs worldwide, and the country's rich agricultural regions provide ample products for Moroccan kitchens. country is warm all year and it has a variety of rich wildlife. The daily food staple of most Mozambicans is either cassava, which is cooked and pounded into a soft mound and served with a sauce, or massa, a cornmeal porridge that is similarly served with a sauce. Myanmar. Myanmar is a country in mainland Southeast Asia. This mostly mountainous country has evergreen rainforests and a variety of wildlife. Buddhism has been a part of Myanmar's culture since the 1st century and has blended with non-Buddhist beliefs since then. Namibia. Namibia is a country located on the southwestern coast of Africa. The Namib Desert runs along this country's Atlantic coast, while the Kalahari Desert is in the east. The country's climate is hot and dry, and droughts are common. Many Namibians are farmers, herders, or fishermen, while tourism is a growing part of the economy, given the country's wildlife and scenery. Nauru. Nauru is a country that occupies a small coral island in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. The island is located south of the equator in the region of Oceania. The island contains a plateau of mostly phosphate, which was formed by bird droppings. Early mining of this mineral has left the plateau bare. Nepal, the People's Republic of China. China is the largest Nepal. Nepal is a small, mountainous, landlocked country in Asia. This country lies along the southern slopes of the Himalayan mountains and Mount Everest. The highest mountain in the world is on its border with China. Music and dance are favorite pastimes among the Nepalese. Religious ceremonies require the use of drums and wind instruments preserved from ancient times. Netherlands. The Netherlands is a country located in northwestern Europe, also known informally as Holland. This country's name means low-lying country, and its people are called the Dutch. The country also includes several Caribbean islands. Dutch painting and crafts are world-renowned, and Dutch painters are among the greatest the world has ever known. There are many museums dedicated to Dutch painters in the capital. New Zealand. New Zealand is a country made up of mountainous islands in the South Pacific Ocean. It lies about 994 miles southeast of Australia and is the farthest south of all the countries in the region called Oceania. The Maori people lived on these isolated islands for hundreds of years before Europeans arrived. The traditional Maori method of cooking is the earth oven, where a large sealed basket containing food is buried over hot stones and left to cook for several hours. Nicaragua. Nicaragua is the largest country in Central America, but also one of the most sparsely populated countries of the region. This Central American country's name is derived from Nicarao, chief of the American Indian tribe that lived in the area during the late 15th and early 16th centuries. Earthquakes and hurricanes are common in this country. Most people here are mestizos, or natives in Spanish. Niger. Niger is a large, landlocked country in West Africa. The Niger River flows through the southwestern part of this country, which is where the country gets its name. It is one of the hottest countries in the world. Although the influence of Islam is predominant, pre-Islamic cultural traditions are still strong and present throughout the country. Nigeria. Nigeria is a country located on the western coast of Africa. This country is the most populous country in Africa and is rich in oil and natural gas. Nigerian contemporary music, which combines Western popular music with indigenous forms, has been exported throughout the world and has had wide influence. People's Republic of Korea, also known as North Korea. North Korea sits on the northern half of the Korean peninsula, which is a block of land that sticks out from East Asia. This country's land is covered mostly by mountains and valleys. This country shares a long history and a common language with its neighbor to the south, South Korea. All North Korean writers, artists, dancers, and musicians are assigned to government institutions, such as the National Theater for the Arts and the State Symphony Orchestra. Republic of North Macedonia. Republic of North Macedonia is a small European country of the south-central Balkans. This landlocked country has many forest-covered mountains. This country incorporates a complex blend of cultural traditions from both Europe and Asia. Winter sports are popular in the Republic of North Macedonia, as the country's mountainous terrain facilitated the creation of several ski resorts. Norway. Norway is a country in northern Europe that occupies the western half of the Scandinavian peninsula. About 2/3 of the country is mountainous, and long, narrow arms of the sea called fjords stretch inland from the western coast. Vikings controlled this country long ago. Norway has been able to preserve much of its old folk culture, including a large body of legends concerning pixies. Oman. Oman is an Arab monarchy on the southeastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. A rocky desert covers most of this Middle Eastern country, which is very hot and dry. The typical Omani meal consists of rice, spiced lamb or fish, dates, and coffee or tea. Incense, notably frankincense, is burned at the end of the meal. Pakistan is a country in southern Asia. This country includes part of the Himalayas with some of the highest mountains in the world. This country shares its early history with its neighbor India, from whom it separated in 1947. Family organization is strongly patriarchal throughout Pakistan, and most people live with large extended families, often in the same house. Palau. Palau is a chain of small islands in the western Pacific Ocean region of Oceania. This country consists of more than 340 islands, each surrounded by coral reefs, in a 398-mile-long chain. Palau is a beautiful tropical paradise and one of the true unspoiled destinations on the planet. The economy revolves around tourism and fishing. Panama is a Central American country that links the continents of North America and South America. The Panama Canal cuts through this country, which allows ships to travel easily between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Panama's blended culture is reflected in traditional products such as wood carvings, ceremonial masks, and pottery, as well as in Panama's architecture, cuisine, and festivals. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea is an island country located just north of Australia in the southwest Pacific Ocean. Most of this country's land is on the eastern half of the island of New Guinea, where Indonesia takes up the western half of the island. About 600 islands make up the rest of its territory. This country is well known for its wood carvings, notably masks and figures that have religious connotations. Paraguay. Paraguay is a landlocked country located in the interior of south-central South America. Its name comes from an American Indian word meaning river that gives birth to the sea, as it has many rivers flowing into the Atlantic Ocean. The main characteristic of Paraguayan culture is its fusion of both the Guarani and Spanish traditions. Folklore, the arts, and literature reflect this dual origin. on the west coast of South America. The Andes Mountains run north and south through the center of this country. For hundreds of years, the great Inca Empire ruled this country's land, which is the third largest country in South America. In rural areas, traditional clothing styles date back to the colonial period. Each region in the Andes has distinctive hats, ponchos, blouses, skirts, and belts, often fabricated from homemade traditional textiles. The Philippines. The Philippines is a country of Southeast Asia and is made up of about 7,100 islands in the western Pacific Ocean. It has a hot and humid climate with rainy and dry seasons. Earthquakes and typhoons are common in this country. The malong, a colorful woven tube of cloth that can be worn in a variety of ways by both men and women, is characteristic of Muslim communities in Mindanao. Poland. Poland is a country in Central Europe. Somewhat circular in shape, this country is bordered to the north by the Baltic Sea. This country is mostly flat, with warm summers and snowy winters. Traditional holidays include March 23rd, when children throw dolls symbolizing winter into newly flowing rivers.
Using the stylus, touch the globe to explore.
Stop. That's what I'm trying to do.
Portugal. Portugal is a small country along the Atlantic coast in southwestern Europe. This country's sailors, like Magellan and Vasco da Gama, were some of the first Europeans to explore the world around 500 years ago. This country was once continental Europe's greatest power. A long tradition of dancing and singing continues among the Portuguese. Nearly every village has its own dance floor, usually constructed of concrete, though in some places it is still made of beaten earth. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is an island in the Caribbean Sea and is a commonwealth of the United States. It is mostly mountainous and it is warm year-round. The local cuisine is called Creole cuisine and is a mix of Spanish, African, and native ingredients. Qatar. Qatar is a small but wealthy country in the Middle East. This country's land is mainly a low, flat desert, and it sits on a small peninsula on the eastern coast of Saudi Arabia. Sandstorms are common here. The Qatari people are descendants of Bedouin and have maintained a tradition of generous hospitality. Popular sports include Arabian horse and camel racing and falconry, all rooted in the country's nomadic past. Romania. Romania is the largest country on the Balkan Peninsula in Eastern Europe. This country gets its name from the ancient Roman Empire, which once ruled it. Romanians enjoy outdoor sports such as hiking and skiing in the Carpathian Mountains. This country is also known for its famous Transylvania region of Count Dracula legend. Russia is a country that stretches over a vast expanse of Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. This country is the largest country in the world. It extends nearly halfway around the Northern Hemisphere and has been a powerful country throughout history. Maslenitsa, the oldest Russian folk holiday, marks the end of winter, and it originated during pagan times. Rwanda. Rwanda is a small and mountainous country in East Central Africa. This landlocked country lies south of the equator and is known for its breathtaking scenery. Rwanda is only one of 3 countries where you can visit mountain gorillas in the wild. country of two small islands in the eastern Caribbean Sea. This country has a volcanic mountain chain that dominates the central part of both its islands. The weather here is hot and tropical. St. Kitts and Nevis is known for a number of musical celebrations, including Carnival. St. Lucia. St. Lucia is a small island country in the eastern Caribbean Sea. This island country is volcanic in origin, and mountains run through the middle of the island from north to south. The musical culture of St. Lucia includes an indigenous folk music tradition, as well as other Caribbean music genres, such as calypso and reggae. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is an island country in the Caribbean Sea. This Caribbean country is made up of more than 30 islands, with St. Vincent being the largest. St. Vincent has an active volcano, while the Grenadines have coral reefs. The national dish is roasted breadfruit and fried jackfish. Samoa. Samoa is a small island country in the southern Pacific Ocean and one of the smallest countries in the world. The islands of this country are rocky and mountainous, of volcanic origin, and surrounded by coral reefs. Earthquakes and cyclones are common events. Music, dance, tattooing, and oral literature are significant art forms in Samoa. San Marino. San Marino is a small country surrounded on all sides by Italy. This landlocked country is the third smallest in Europe after Vatican City and Monaco. Tourism makes up the country's main economic activity, with visitors often outnumbering residents during the busy season. São Tomé and Príncipe. São Tomé and Príncipe is a small island country off the west coast of Africa, located on the equator. Volcanic in origin, the two main islands of this country are separated by about 90 miles of sea. Half of the land is covered by rainforests. Cocoa, coconuts, coffee, cinnamon, and bananas are grown here. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the largest country in the Middle East. This country is one of the largest oil producers in the world, and almost all of its land is flat desert. The country depends on underground water supplies, as there is little rainfall. This country contains the two holiest cities of the Islamic religion. Senegal. Senegal is a country on the west coast of Africa. This country holds the westernmost point of the African continent. Most of the land is flat and low, while the weather is hot all year. Millet, couscous, and rice form the basis of many meals, while peanuts and seafood are common sources of protein, and chilies and palm oil are used for flavoring. Serbia. Serbia is a European country in the west-central Balkans. This landlocked country has mostly mountainous terrain with cold winters and warm summers. Belgrade is one of the oldest cities in Europe, with settlements said to have existed there for at least 7,000 years. The Seychelles. The Seychelles is an island republic in the western Indian Ocean. This country is a scattered group of islands about 1,000 miles east of Africa. It contains contains both rocky, mountainous islands and flat coral islands. No one lived on the islands until the 1700s when French settlers arrived. Since then, the culture has been shaped by a combination of European, African, and Asian influences. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a small country on the western coast of Africa. This country's name means Lion Mountains and was named for the hills that surround the country's main harbor. The climate is hot and humid. The Koro Society for Men and the Sunday Society for Women play an educational role in village culture. Singapore. Singapore is a small, wealthy island country in Southeast Asia. This country is close to the equator and has hot, humid weather. It is often called a city-state due to the size and importance of its capital city. This country has been an important economic base in the region, exporting electronics, computers, and other goods. Slovakia. Slovakia is a small landlocked country in Central Europe. Forests cover nearly half of the country. Picturesque castles and historical cities can be found throughout this European country. Grape growing was brought here by the ancient Romans as they advanced along the Danube 2,000 years ago, and vineyards are still found along the Danube River. Slovenia. Slovenia is a small country in the Balkans, a region of southeastern Europe. Parts of the Alps extend across this country, and there are many forests. The potica is a traditional Slovenian cake made by rolling up a layer of dough covered with walnuts. The Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islands is a country that consists of 6 large islands and over 900 smaller islands in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. The main islands of this country have many mountains and volcanoes and are located in Oceania. Many of the smaller islands are made of coral. There are approximately 63 to 70 distinct languages spoken between the different groups living here. Somalia. Somalia is a country located in the Horn of Africa, the easternmost part of the African continent. It is one of the hottest countries in the world. Most of the people are nomads, moving place to place with their livestock. The Nirush Festival is a Somali festival of fire held in July. People build bonfires and dance. South Africa. South Africa is the southernmost country on the African continent. This country is famous for its varied terrain, great natural beauty, and cultural diversity. South African music is a fusion of various musical styles such as traditional indigenous music, jazz, Christian religious music, and forms of popular music from the United States. The Republic of Korea, also known as South Korea. South Korea covers the southern half of the Korean peninsula, which is a block of land that sticks out from East Asia. This country's only land border is with North Korea. This country shares a long history and a common language with its neighbor to the north. Such is the importance of kimchi, a fermented vegetable dish in the national diet that an estimated 160 or more varieties have been identified, and there is a museum in Seoul dedicated to the dish. South Sudan. South Sudan is a country located in northeastern Africa. It is a hot country with a long rainy season. The Nile River flows northward through the center of this country, towards Sudan and Egypt. Oral tradition here is used as a vehicle for the creative expression of folklore and myths, as well as for the recounting of history and traditions. Spain. Spain is a large country located in southwestern Europe. This country's longest coastline stretches for 1,703 miles along the Mediterranean Sea. And in Western Europe, only France is larger. This European country once controlled a huge empire in the Americas where its explorers and conquistadors raised their king's banner. Flamenco is a form of traditional music and dance of the Roma people of southern Spain. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island country off the southeastern tip of the Indian subcontinent in the Indian Ocean. This country is near the equator and has warm weather year-round. Though there are mountains in the south, most of the country is made up of flat plains. In architecture, sculpture, and painting, Sri Lanka's traditions extend far back into antiquity. Sudan. Sudan is a large country located in northeastern Africa. The northern part of this hot country is in the Sahara Desert. The Nile River flows south to north through this country on its way to Egypt. The northern part of Sudan in ancient times was known as Nubia, which ruled ancient Egypt for a period. Suriname. Suriname is one of the smallest countries in South America and is located on the continent's north-central coast. This hot and humid country is covered mostly by tropical rainforests. Hindustanis are a large group of people here whose ancestors came from India. Fishing is a common recreational sport, particularly from August to October, when many people fish with bamboo poles in freshwater swamps and creeks. Sweden. Sweden is a large country located on the Scandinavian peninsula in northern Europe. This country has a long mountain range with many small rivers that flow into the sea. This country is the largest of the Scandinavian countries, and during the 1600s was one of the most powerful countries in Europe. Swedes celebrate spring on the last night of April with singing and bonfires. Switzerland. Switzerland is a small country in the heart of the Alps, Europe's highest mountain range. Mountains cover more than half the land, where about 10,000 avalanches happen each year. This European country is known for its long tradition of staying neutral in conflicts. Switzerland has won more Nobel Prizes and registered more patents per capita than any other country. Syria. Syria is a country that lies on the eastern end of the Mediterranean Sea in the Middle East. This country has a dry climate with cold winters and very hot summers. Its capital is one of the oldest cities in the world. Contemporary Syrian culture blends Arab, Mediterranean, and European elements, while the family is the heart of the Syrian social life. Tajikistan. Tajikistan is a small country that lies in the heart of Central Asia. Almost all the land in this country is mountainous, and glaciers cover many of the mountainsides. The area now called Tajikistan has an ancient culture, and many popular traditions and customs have been retained, including the costumes worn by both men and women, and such ancient festivals as the New Year celebration. Tanzania. Tanzania is an East African country situated just south of the equator. Some of the earliest human remains have been found in this country, making it one of the oldest known areas of human habitation on the planet. Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest point in Africa, is in this country. Tanzania has more than 120 different groups of people, and most live in small villages in the countryside. Thailand. Thailand is located in the center of mainland Southeast Asia. This country's name means Land of the Free and is the only country in Southeast Asia that was never ruled by European powers. It is known for its tropical beaches, ornate temples, royal palaces, and ancient ruins. There is a popular saying that the Thai live by their stomachs. There have long been small vendors of Thai food on the streets of urban Thailand, but until late in the 20th century, the best Thai food was usually produced in private homes. East Timor. East Timor is located in Southeast Asia and is one of the world's newest countries. It gained independence from Indonesia in 2002. This country covers the eastern half of the island of Timor, while the western half of the island is part of Indonesia. It is a dry and mountainous country. Most of the people here are farmers, growing corn, rice, sweet potatoes, and coconuts. Togo. Togo is a small country that sits north of the equator in Africa's Great Western Bulge. The Togo Mountains cross the center of this narrow, oblong-shaped African country. This country has palm-lined beaches. About a third of the population practices various ancestral forms of belief, including voodoo. Tonga is made up of about 170 islands in the southern Pacific Ocean in the region known as Oceania. People live on only about 40 of this country's islands, some of which are the peaks of underwater volcanoes. This country's climate is warm and rainy, and rainforests grow on its volcanic islands. The ritual of drinking kava, a drink made from dried kava root, characterizes both traditional and community ceremonies here. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago are two islands forming one country. They are located in the Caribbean Sea near the northern coast of South America. This mountainous island country has tropical rainforests growing in its high areas. The islands are known for steel band and calypso music, and for the dance known as the limbo. Tunisia is the smallest country in North Africa. This country is located at the eastern end of the Maghreb, the northern tip of Africa, and its southern tip is part of the Sahara Desert. Tunisians take pride in the rich mixture of native and foreign influences that make up their national character. Turkey is a country that straddles two continents, Europe and Asia, though it lies mostly in southwestern Asia. This country controls one of the most vital seaways in Europe, the two sets of narrow straits that link the Black Sea with the Mediterranean. This country has been at the heart of two powerful empires of the past, the Byzantine Empire and the Ottoman Empire. Turkmenistan is a desert country in Central Asia. Though it borders the Caspian Sea, the Karakum Desert covers most of this country's land. In addition to traditional costumes, carpets, and oral traditions, one of the most important Turkmen cultural symbols is the horse. Tuvalu is a country made up of 9 small island groups in the West Central Pacific Ocean area of Oceania, known as Polynesia. This country's islands are made of coral, and most of the land is only about 15 feet above sea level. The climate here is hot and rainy. The most important cultivated plant is pulaka, or swamp taro, which is grown in large pits of fresh water. Uganda is a country in East Central Africa. This country borders Lake Victoria on its southeast, and it has a warm climate. This country takes its name from Buganda, which was a powerful African kingdom in the 1800s. The country possesses a rich tradition of theater, which has played an important role in educating its public on a range of issues. Ukraine is the second largest country in Europe. This country consists almost entirely of level plains with mountainous areas on the country's borders. This country has served as a bridge between Asia and Europe, and its name means borderland. Ukraine has many health spas noted for their mineral springs as well as mud baths near the Black Sea. The United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates is a small, wealthy country in the Middle East. This country is a union of 7 small kingdoms and stretches along the Persian Gulf on the eastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. Most of the land in this country is flat, sandy desert. This country's economy depends on oil and natural gas exports, and tribal identities here remain strong. The United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is an island country located off the northwestern coast of Europe in the Atlantic Ocean, made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. This country's full name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, though it is sometimes called just Britain. The people of this country are mostly descendants of settlers from mainland Europe, but also from former British colonies from around the world. From the plays of William Shakespeare to the music of the Beatles, British art has had a tremendous impact on world culture. The United States of America. The United States of America is a country of North America and the 4th largest country in the world. Among its diverse 50 states, this country has some of the largest rivers and lakes in the world, with its Great Lakes forming the largest connected area of fresh water on Earth. Established in 1776, this country is young compared to many other countries. The United States has been a nation of immigrants throughout its history, with a diverse population of people from around the world. It has a highly developed and powerful economy. Uruguay. Uruguay is the small country on the southeast coast of South America. This country is the 2nd smallest in South America. This country has few forests and is covered mostly by tall prairie grasses. Most Uruguayans have ancestors from Spain and Italy. Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is a landlocked country at the heart of Central Asia. This country's climate is dry, with hot summers and cold winters. This country is famous for its cities, which were centers of commerce on the old Silk Road trade routes that connected China with Europe. Uzbekistan is one of the largest cotton growers in the world. Vanuatu. Vanuatu is a chain of islands in the southwestern Pacific Ocean region of Oceania. This country includes 13 main islands and roughly 60 smaller ones. Many of this country's islands have mountains with active volcanoes, and the climate is hot and rainy. The national ceremonial dish is laplap, pudding made of grated root crops or plantain mixed with coconut milk, wrapped in leaves, and baked for hours in a traditional earth oven. Vatican City. The Vatican City is located within Rome, Italy, and is the world's smallest country. This tiny European country is the home of the Pope, who is the head of the Roman Catholic Church. This country's boundaries are formed mostly by its medieval and Renaissance walls. St. Peter's Basilica is one of the holiest places in the world for the Roman Catholic religion. Venezuela. Venezuela is a country on the northern coast of South America. This country is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, where it has some islands. This country's forests are home to jaguars, armadillos, monkeys, snakes, and tapirs. Venezuela's economy is mostly based on oil and natural gas production. Vietnam. Vietnam is one of the world's most populous countries and occupies the easternmost part of mainland Southeast Asia. This country has a long coastline on the South China Sea. This long and narrow country is quite mountainous and tropical. Tet, the Lunar New Year, is the country's most important holiday. It is celebrated with feasts and gifts. Yemen. Yemen is a country on the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula in the Middle East. The Red Sea lies to the west of this country, and the Gulf of Aden is to the south. The desert and coasts of this country are hot and dry. Many Yemenis chew khat, which is the leaves of an evergreen shrub, for social and recreational purposes. Zambia. Zambia is a landlocked country in south-central Africa. Situated on a high plateau, this country takes its name from the Zambezi River, which runs over a cliff in the south, creating Victoria Falls. The country has many national parks which protect important wildlife. Although recently influenced by urbanization, Zambians still value traditional communal ideals such as reciprocity within a household, the extended family, and the clan. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a landlocked country located on the high plateau of southern Africa. This country's name means stone houses, named after a site called Great Zimbabwe, where a city of stone was the center of a rich trading empire. The country is mostly covered by grassland, and most people live in rural areas. Traditional stone sculptures by the Shona people are world-renowned, and its metal-keyed musical instrument, the mbira, has been used in ceremonies for thousands of years.